Once again, it's on. Good afternoon, and welcome to the show. You already know what time it is. You better get ready because we got an exciting guest today. And I just want you to be aware that it's from the 757. That's right, the 757. We're going to be popping it off with a special guest today. So I want you to get comfortable, get locked in, invite some of your peeps over because you know how I like to do. I like to get into the groove. So, how's everybody doing today? Just want to make sure everything is working properly. Come on in the room, hit that share link, let some people know that, hey, we own and popping right here on Frequency Distribution. Yours truly, Captain 85, the best of the 757 community talk show. And I just want you to come on in, have some fun today. Let's talk to one of the 757 artists. He goes by the name of Eddie Berger. And I want y'all to come on in the room. Come on in the room. And let's enjoy this 757 artist. So that's what I want you to do. But nevertheless, I hope everybody is having a pleasant day. I've been out there this morning taking care of some personal business. Yeah, but the weather's good. The weather is good. The weather is good. So y'all might as well come on in the room as I set up this stuff for for the talk show to put on the internet. You always have to do things after you come on with some things. But nevertheless, I'm going to do my best to make sure that you have a wonderful time today. And like I said, I got one of the gentlemen that's coming on. Is from the Hampton, from Hampton, Virginia, but I don't think he's here now. So we'll find out where he originally from. Today. So I want you to come on and go ahead and hit that share link, invite some people over because you know how Captain 85 can get long-winded. I get long-winded, but it's all right. It's all right when we're with our people, to inspire and motivate them and help them along their journey here on the planet called Mother Earth. So I want y'all to go ahead and hit that share link, invite some people over before I bring my guest on. And whatever, make some comments, ask some questions, let them know, hey, you're interested in his music. And, so whatever you're trying to do, whatever you want him to, make him feel like he's already a celebrity because this is not his first album. He done his album before. And you got to appreciate people that's in the 757 that's doing things and working hard to with their craft. That's what it's all about here on the best of the 757 community talk show. It's to bring people along and to show our future generation the same thing. Let them know that, hey, everything is important when it comes to educating our future generation. You want them to be able to understand that nothing is easy, but in order to do that, we have to bring people that's doing in the struggle, in the game, and with me is real important with that. It's real important. Most of the things I do is for young people. I don't care what nobody else say. They can say that because I've been doing it longer. I was doing it before they were. And politicians, I was doing it before they were politicians. So I ain't trying to hear that foolishness they talk about. If you know so much, how come we got all these problems in our community? But, that's a topic for another day. We'll get to that. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I care about the young people. I always have. I raised my kids. I had 7 kids. They all grown. I lost one last year. I'll be celebrating her home, her passing in June. She passed in June. So, I just want y'all to be aware that that was my youngest daughter and I miss her. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep her memory alive. And just like with everything else I do, we have to be able to reach out and touch people and let people be aware that, hey, you're not alone in this world. You're not alone. But nevertheless, I'm going to pop over here and get ready to come on the show so you can see that it's not a recording. It is me. So how you doing? How you doing? You know, don't I look good? You know, all them ladies out there, hello. I know I'm married because, see, my wife take good care of me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I look good. But nevertheless, I just want you to be able to understand that it's all about one thing over here. It's about love, Love. And if you don't show young people that you really love them, you're not going to get their attention because they get the lip service all the time. They get that all the time when it comes to people they meet in school, people that might bully them. You know, you have to understand is you have to be in the right place with them. And this is why we're having a problem in our community. So people can't tell me you don't know what you're talking about because I ran a club for over 50 years. I'm in the community. That puts me in the community. That puts me where I know what I'm talking about. Why? Because I'm talking to the community. I'm talking to the young people, teens, adults, the young adults, as well as the old adults. I'm talking to them all. And that's one thing that is, you know, people that's in power in the cities, they don't want you doing that. They're the ones that's supposed to be talking to the community. So when people don't understand, like, well, why you ain't DJing no more? I'm still DJing. I don't play in small clubs. That's what I don't do. If you notice, most of the clubs I ever played, they was separate, not so in the community, but in a business area, or they was in a shopping center. I had the largest Afro-American club on in Virginia Beach. That was Club Picasso's. My brother purchased it, and I opened it up. I'm the one that opened up Picasso's for Barry Davis. That's how we was able to. That was one of his promises. His father and mother made, said whenever we decide to sell it or whatever we do, we're going to make sure that you are taken care of. Like I tell people, I ain't never want to own a club. I'm a DJ. I'm an entertainer. It's a difference, you know, owning and entertaining. But when I sometimes take positions, because I'm the one that handles the marketing and the promotions, y'all don't know that because that's in-house information. You know, when you hear stuff on the radio, I write every commercial for the 50 years I DJ. Nobody handled my copy. I personally wrote it myself. Personally. I sent it in and let them produce it. But I wrote all commercials for any club that I was in. So when people don't understand the work that I do, it's not about me. It's about the people that hire me. They put an investment in opening up a building, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, just for the remodel to go into a shopping center. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So when people don't understand is you have to know your craft. But nevertheless, we'll talk about that later on. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and get my guests on the phone, you know, and just in case you didn't know, his name is Eddie Berger, and he's hello, Mr. Eddie. Hey, you having it because that's why you on the talk show. You're the man, you know. You're the man that I know the man, so I brought the man on. You know. Okay. So how's your day going?
It's going pretty good. I won't complain.
That's good. That's good.
Taking my mom out to go get some groceries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Chilling today.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey, you know, that's what, you know, I appreciate you mentioning that because when people have parents and they're, you know, as they grow older, you know, sometimes we don't make time for our parents. Right. You know, so I just want to applaud you, you know, for mentioning that you take your mother to the grocery store. I used to do it when my mother was living or wherever they wanted to go. But you don't have but one set of parents. you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, like a lot of my friends now, they do have they've lost their parents, so it causes me to just try to focus in and do more for my mother.
Yeah.
As she ages, just trying to do more for her, and I don't know, it's just something in you, I guess, that makes you feel like you want to be there, and you want to be the person that did it for them, because she the one that did it for me.
Hello.
So I gotta make sure that she's straight.
Right. And that's the thing is, this is why people like you I bring on the show, because people have to hear it. They should, I always try to get the people that watches my show to share it with their kids. Let them come back in. This is up on the Facebook. It's recorded. So, let them listen in, because they need to hear what the Bible's already said. Honor thy mother and thy father, and that they shall be long upon this earth. That's what it says. I don't know if I don't.
It does.
I don't quote scriptures. It's just in me. I mean, if I read it, I ain't trying to. I'm not a preacher. I ain't getting it all that. I just know. I know what the commandments were to me, and what my mom and dad meant to me, my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews, and then my own children, now my grandchildren, and great grandchildren. So so
I don't have any grandkids.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
not yet.
Yeah, you blessed.
Right.
It's just that when you're working on a career, and that's why I had to make a decision, because most of my kids, I was always in the nightclubs when they were growing up. They grew up, I'm in the nightclub. Some of them, when they grew up, they worked in the nightclubs. You know? But the point I'm making, my last son, and because I had medical conditions, and the doctor said, I ain't telling you what to do, but I tell you this, you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to be dead.
Right.
So with that said, and my youngest son, at the time, he was about maybe six or seven. Now he's 20-some years old. I'm out. I was making a good salary. And it's not that I can't go back. People have asked me to come back, be partners, manage. Nah, don't want it. I'm a DJ.
I heard that.
Let me stay at the DJ part, because I feel that, I had my time in the spotlight, and I still do have my, some time in the spotlight, but I try to focus on the artists like you, the 757 people. It's not getting no shine.
Right.
And even now, when I want to come back to do maybe a one night a week or something, or 2 nights a week, it's not about going back in the club business. I'm not in the club business. I'm in the entertainment business.
Okay.
And I could break your record quicker than you could fry egg if I'm playing in the club.
Yeah, you can.
Because that's what I did.
Right about that.
I broke records in the club. That's what,
right.
And when I talked to, when I was at Old Dominion, when I was started back my talk show up, because I used to do talk shows before I got to Old Dominion. I was doing gospel on AM 1110. That was the 50,000 watt. I broke gospel records. I was the one that started rap gospel in this area. So people don't know that. They're thinking, well, Peace did not play gospel. I started gospel rap. I got the records for that. Because the simple reason, people have to understand this area. Virginia is called the Bible Belt of religion.
Right.
This is where religion started. Okay? It didn't start in Texas. It didn't start in California. It didn't start in Mexico. It started right here in Virginia. So when that's why music and stuff, certain things you can't do because of religious status and all this, they frown at it. These gospel churches, they started because it was slavery. So when people don't do their research, they don't understand. Religion just didn't pop up. That's why people don't want to talk about religion, because it's like you're being indoctrinated. So I read the Bible. All you gotta do is read the book. Anybody gotta tell you anything. The Bible say read for knowledge and pray for wisdom. And that's why I do what I do, by bringing you on, because people have to know from your standpoint the music that you make, how you come up with the lyrics, how you come up with the melodies, because I don't know all that. I just know if it sounds good to me, I'm playing it. Your music sounds good to me, I play it. I've been playing it ever since
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I mean, you played stuff from my first album, a couple of years ago.
Right.
But the new album is something different.
Okay.
Pretty much me. I'm a singer.
Okay.
I'm a producer. I write. I arrange. I pretty much was put in a position where I had to do everything that I would have hired someone else to do.
Okay.
And like along my journey, if I went somewhere and they say, well, this sounds good, but it needs this, I had to go and learn how to do that. Right. So they I could check that off as something that they couldn't say I couldn't do.
Right.
And I with this album, being that this was my second album, I had to use just what was going on for me at the time.
Okay.
And right when COVID hit, I wasn't in a productive state because I was considered to be a necessary person for my job. Okay. You know, me being a mental health therapist, I had to work during the pandemic.
Right.
Even when I couldn't go into into my office, I still had to do Zoom therapy appointments and stuff like that. So me being productive musically was kind of shattered because I was doing a lot of my studio time was like most of my day was in the studio talking to clients while I'm on my laptop.
Oh, okay.
And you know, because that was the privacy that I could get if I wasn't in the office. So when I would finish working with seeing clients, I wouldn't even have a full feeling about being in the studio since I've been in there all day listening to problems.
Right.
So I really wasn't very productive during the COVID time. However, once we could get back and go into the offices again regularly, which was probably like a year, almost 2 years later, actually, for me, then I was able to start coming up with ideas and concepts for the new project, which is called guided imagery. Guided imagery is a form of self-hypnosis that that people can do. You can like for people who don't know, if you ever hear about your happy place, find your happy place, and you know, close your eyes and listen to this, and it kind of talks you through stuff.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much what the concept of the album is. However, it's not a guided walk. It's really a listening, kind of like a journey through my mind.
Okay.
And it's set up in a way. It actually starts off with a therapy session, and it goes into the album. The therapy session would be me going to a therapist. I had completed the guided imagery catalog that they had, and they wanted to try some new stuff where you could tap into what I'm thinking, and they would take my thoughts and make it audible. So you could hear what I'm thinking through the monitors. Okay. That's what it was supposed to be. And what you're actually hearing are the songs and the concepts on this album.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a journey. If you would look at maybe if you were to turn on the radio back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Back in the days, you could turn on the radio and it would be songs that you could hear, all kinds of genres and everything playing on one station. You didn't even have to turn it everywhere.
Right.
And you could hear a little bit of everything and not even have to change the dial. That was kind of the idea that I wanted to use. And it just goes from song to song, but it's like a journey through my thoughts and the things that were coming up, things that I was going through, and things that I had overcame. It was mostly about overcoming stuff, more than anything.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much what the album is about. And I have it lined up. The first single that's out is actually is not the song that you playing.
Oh, I know.
That's the song that you gravitated to.
Right.
And that's the next one that I'm actually gonna shoot the video for. But the first single is called One Piece.
Well, I got most of the songs.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah,
I know you do.
But what I do is I listen to, like I said, I'm spiritual. So whatever my spirit leads me, the Bible said, where he leads you, you follow. It's not that all the songs are not up there, but everybody's going to grab it. That's the one you're going to tell everybody you talk to. Yo, this the one. This the one. I go pick a one that nobody's going to want to play until I want to get the people saying, that's a good song. Who is that artist? I want them to do that. And I've been successful in doing that because I done broke a lot of records. I just don't get the credit for it. But I break the records. That's why.
I'll give you credit because you have been very supportive.
Right.
I can't ask for anything more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I tell people about your station. I tell them about your broadcast.
Right.
And they might hit me up throughout the day and they'll say, hey, I heard the song.
Right. Okay.
Hey, I heard the song with CAPTAIN85.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. It's available on all streaming outlets and platforms.
But let me show you something.
A lot of the local,
I ain't even told nobody. They can buy it from my radio station.
Right.
It's because I'm hooked up to, when you do an app through and everything, the music station is Live 365. When you go, if you download the app, or it's on the app because it's not on, I don't think it's on the that's why I had the app bill. If you got the app, all you got to do is when you click on it, you'll see an arrow. That arrow takes you to your song if it's anybody's song that's playing.
Right.
So that's why I have to pay a licensing fee. And because when I did that, for the simple reason is I have to automatically type in metadata. I got to put all your information in.
Okay.
With the app built, it's already in.
Because I noticed, like, when I'm listening to you, and like when I hear my song, if I click on that, just touch it on the screen when I'm listening to you. I touch that, it takes you straight to the iTunes page with the whole album.
Yeah, all your albums.
And it's available for download and all of that.
Right.
I say that's dope.
I just
do that with the radio station.
Right. I just ain't started promoting it. I mean, I'm going to promote it because by me being sick for the last almost 3 years, and I'm seeing specialists. I ain't seeing regular doctors.
Right.
And stuff. I had to readjust what I want to do. So by me now, getting better. I couldn't even, last couple of years I couldn't see.
Oh wow.
Because I had 3 surgeries on my eyes. So and I'd be sitting there talking, but I couldn't really make out stuff. So but now, like you got to pray to God. It ain't no joke in the real world. See, people think in the real world is a game. It ain't no game, you know. And I put the picture of the doctor, and he's a great doctor. And man, I'm seeing like I'm Superman. Because I had retinal, my retina was coming loose from my eye.
Oh wow.
And I had 2 surgeries, you know, to prevent that. If I didn't do that, I'd have been totally blind. You know, not just cataracts, but the retina and the cataracts. That's 2 different surgeries. And then when I went the last time, he said, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Bond, I do not want to do that surgery over. So what I'm going to do is give you some shots, some medication, see can it work, you know. And but I don't want to go back in replacing stuff, because that could cause more damage to you. I mean, a lot of stuff medical. I keep telling people I don't take a bunch of medicine. I don't do that. The Bible says you pray for God for everything, you know. But I tell you right now, I can see, like, I think I'm Superman. I can see through glass, through walls. So, and you know,
but that's good that you better.
Yeah,
and getting better.
Yeah. I just had in February, I had my toe removed on my left foot. Still dealing with that. I'm going to 3 specialists for that. You know, and just went Friday, and he's talking about doing another surgery. I'm like, no, dog, we'll wait a month for that one, you know. But like you telling you, that's why you pray. I don't get into that. Yes. We just gonna take medicine. We gonna just do surgery. And the reason why I'm in this predicament is because that's all doctors want to do.
Right.
You know, so my doctor's upstairs. That, you know, like, you know, I go into the secret closet, you know, and call them up. You know, but when people don't understand, when God give you a task to do, everybody ain't cut out for it. Everybody want to choose to go this route. I choose to stay to the task that's at hand, because the enemy is real. People think the enemy ain't real. He's very real, you know, and he was kicked out of heaven. He landed on earth. So when people thinking that, hey, you doing this and doing that, brother, you do not know how the enemy works. If you read that book, you understand that we all have gifts that we already got gifts already in us. You have a gift to create. You have a gift to do what you do. You know, I can tell by the way I listen to your music. That's why when I go, now I want to play the other songs. I mean, I, you know, got them, and I was already buying them before you. I was already buying them before you sent them to me. Right. So I just picked the ones that let me do this one because I want to hype this one up, and you know, trying to get a club date to a place, because I can't play nothing that are gonna hold about 100, 200 people. I ain't going to jail, because the first thing they come, they're gonna be like, that's that guy that used to be at Picasso's or Luxury Brown, you know, whatever city I be in. Right. But people might think that's a joke, but it's not. That's how they handle me. I got receipts. Like I keep telling people, I got receipts on everybody. Police and everything, videos, 8-9 minute videos. So please don't get it twisted, you know. But what I try to get people to understand, it's not about me. It's about the future generation. It's about the young people. So when I'm playing your music and I'm having this conversation with you today, so they can go back, look at it, the parents. I'm playing the people that was kids when I started playing. Then they got their own kids, and their kids are now in college or graduated from college. So like I try to explain, it's not about me. I get tired of turning on the news, and every day you got kids in the neighborhood dying.
Right.
You know.
I touch on that on my album as well. That was like the song One Piece is referring to it's pretty much, even the name is a double entendre as far as peace, meaning as far as unity, but also peace as in I just want a piece of the pie. Right. You know, a small piece. But pretty much is saying that, you know, you can still have everything you want, but you do have like police out there, they crooked. A whole lot of,
you talk about that one right there?
yeah. Yeah.
That's the next one I'm gonna start playing. It's I have it uploaded, but what I do,
I know you.
yeah.
Yeah, and see, and I also have, speaking of 757, a gentleman that's on that first song with me, One Piece, is Amir Driver.
Okay.
Amir Driver is the artist and the one who created the Made in Norfolk brand.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Made in Norfolk store over on Briarfield Road, in Norfolk.
Okay.
But he has that, and he also is an MC.
Oh, okay.
So he and I have been knowing each other for some years, and but we never had collaborated together. So when I told him I was working on some music, he said he'd like to contribute.
Okay.
And he's actually on 2 songs on the album. The album, because I know some people might wonder if it's a gospel album.
Okay.
My album is not. My album is not a gospel album.
Okay.
However, I would tell anybody it's a joyful noise.
Right.
You know, I can't say, well, it depends on what the gospel is, because the gospel is a word.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of albums have a good word and a good message and stuff like that. Mine just happens to not have cursing.
Right. Okay.
And not have a lot of references to a lot of things that are
in the world
going on worldly.
Right. It's what that's the thing.
And
see, I'm not cutting you off, but that's why
I interpret what's going on in the world.
Right.
And through my eyes, it might be different. 30 years ago, my perspective on the world was totally different, and I might have did music in that vein because of where I was. But when I've lived, going through some things, endured some things, witnessed some things, and changed a lot over my life, then it feels good to be able to come from the heart.
Right.
And it be what I have. Because I came from the heart and it wasn't positive a long time ago. But now that I'm a different person.
Right.
Then the music that flows through me, you know, you are what you consume.
Hello.
So I've been consuming a lot different stuff now than I used to. And it feels good to be able to have an album that, you know, my mother can tell her friends about, that that my pastor can actually click on and listen to and not be and not cringe when he's listening.
Right.
And to not have anything to hide about that.
Right.
Now, however, I have friends of mine that we good friends, but that don't necessarily mean they're a fan of my music.
Right.
They love me, but I might not be talking about what they trying to hear right now.
Right.
However, when you live and you go through some more stuff,
right,
in your quiet moments, you're gonna want to hear something.
Hello.
And it ain't gonna necessarily be about all this bitterness and hatred and everything. You're gonna want to hear something that's gonna make you feel good inside.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna reflect when you look over your life and start seeing how far you've grown and how much better you're doing and everything.
Yeah.
You will want to hear something that kind of supports that. And that's what my album is.
Right.
It's like it'll carry you. It'll actually minister to you if you allow it to.
Right.
You can groove and sing and dance, and you come to say, wait a minute, these lyrics kind of, they kind of hitting me different because my mind in a different space.
Right.
You can accept them now. I mean, I can listen to songs, man, that when I was a kid, they didn't hit me.
Right.
Because they weren't for my time.
Yeah.
I had to get to a point where I had to go through something that would make me relate the song to me. And I think, like, for me, for real, I love Sounds of Blackness. I bought that was the first CD that I bought for my mother back in the days when I got her a CD player. I said, I'm gonna get you this. And I got her Sounds of Blackness.
Okay.
Be Optimistic.
Right.
And with everything in the past few years that I've had to deal with and go through as far as family, the loss of loved ones, and the pressures of dealing with having hope and faith. And sometimes it just seems like I don't know, it's like you built for it, because soon as you get knocked down and you get back up, it's something else coming to knock you down. And I listened to the song "Be Optimistic," and I'd never listened to that song the way, like, it never hit me the way that it did a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
It actually brought me to tears.
Right.
Just because of I hadn't had so much on me in my life.
Right.
And to overcome that and just say, like, I can't explain it. Nobody would understand.
Right.
But it's people that actually do understand.
Right.
And they done been through the same things too, and they've overcome them. But I just want to be able to touch people in that kind of way that, you know, you can enjoy the music, and then you mess around and say, wait a minute, these lyrics kind of saying something. I get what he's saying.
Right.
And that's just going, like, I gotta wait for people to catch up with it. And that's fine, well and good. I'm just glad that I was able to do what's in my heart, and my heart is the way it is now.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to impress people. I'm trying to inspire people.
Right.
And but it just gotta be heard. You know, I don't know if people gonna like every song. Right. You know, like, you can have a great book, but every chapter didn't like sit right with you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is. You can have an album that's considered a great album, but it might not resonate. Certain songs might not resonate with certain people.
Right.
But I guarantee you, listen to it, it's gonna be something you can hold and grab onto.
Right.
And it'll carry you. The message is pretty heavy, and you can enjoy it if you listen to it. Yeah. So that's what I ask people to do. Just give it a listen and tell people. You know, you can have that same energy from the 90s, the late 90s, 2000s.
Right.
Because I was in the mix. You know, I was out there.
Yeah.
So that same kind of energy, but with a positive energy.
Right.
You know, that same kind of vibe, but it's just positive words that's being spoke, positive affirmations and stuff like that. Yeah. That you would want to hear. Whether you knew it or not, but you probably want to hear that kind of stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying with music. That's why I'm born here. I didn't, like I tell people sometimes in conversation, I didn't have to come. I went to broadcast school in New York. I ain't had to come back. I already had a job offered in Philly as soon as I graduated. That's how we send your demo tape out, and the radio station from Philly called, and they want to come in. We want you to come in for an interview. But I had came down here because I miss my kids. And when I came down, I was here for a week. I came for 2 weeks, and I sent out a couple of resumes to radio stations, and I sent it over to WZAM, AM 1110, couple of days later, the guy said, "Hey, I'm calling you, sending your resume. So you're looking for announcer. You want to be an announcer? You announcer. He wanted you to come in for an interview. So when can you come in?" I said, "When do you?" I said, "Well, can I come in today?" He said, "If you can, come in today." So I went over there he was on Greenwich Road, Virginia Beach, and was WZAM was a 50,000 watter. That's a powerful radio station.
Right.
It reached from here all the way down to Florida. It reaches from here all the way to Philadelphia. It reaches from here all the way to Washington State. So I don't think there's no other FM station that powerful other than that. It was so powerful at 6 o'clock when the sun set, we had to dial the power down so that the other local stations could come in on that frequency. So when people don't know, when I went in, he said, if I offer you this job, when would you be able to start? I said, well, down here, to see my kids. I said, when would you need me to start? If I accept the job? He said, what about tomorrow? I said, tomorrow? I'm already here. I'll be here tomorrow. What time? 2 to 6. You got to drive 2 to 6. And I took that over. Then I wound up becoming holding it to the general. The new owner came in with Steve Briscoe from DC. Of course, Milton Reed owned the radio station that owned the Journal Guide. Right. So he sold it about 2 months after I was there to Steve Briscoe, who owned about 4 or 5 other stations in other markets. He came down. Then he said he needed a program director. So I said, well, I know. He asked me that I know him. I said, well, I got a friend. His name is Greg Mack. He used to work for Bishop, and he's looking. He was programming out in Washington State, and he's coming back this way. He said, well, give me his number. I'll call him and see if he wanted. And that's how he got to be the program director. So like I keep telling people, and then when I was there, and he left me in charge of the whole station, till his general manager came in. That was Kim Gatlin or Kim Billy. It was Kim Gatlin. And the other one was I call her the Genie. Her name is her real name, because she's in the group that I'm in. I always call her the Genie. But she came down, and we made it happen. I was playing. I always get permission because I'm trained professionally. You can't just put music on the radio. The program director got to approve it. So the program director would say, "Hey, whatever you think, to make the station sound good, I'll do your judgment." I got in time before the guy sold it. They be monitoring my show, like, "Hey, man, you supposed to be in this at 10 after. You supposed to be playing a group." I said, "Okay." I did. He said, "Well, why are you playing a quartet?" Because I had 2 minutes left. I switched it over. You follow the clock, because you got a clock. Everything is clock.
Already programmed.
Right. They program it. But I'm like, what I would do is I had the choice of picking the song that you gave me to play. But I'm a mathematician when it comes to music. If you listen to my station, even today, I play more music in an hour than any radio station on the market. Right. They can't, because it's all numbers. I deal with numbers. I don't deal with, this or that. I'm dealing with time. So I'm going to maximize the time. I got time slots at 10, at the 20. I don't do 10. I don't do anything but a break, announce, bam, I'm here, blah, blah, go back in, do the drop at the 15, come back out. At the 20, I'm running commercials. At the 40, I might run a commercial, or at the 50, I run a commercial. So what I do is to keep it entertaining, keeping people locked in the entertainment, and that's why when they start with the 15, I'm already ahead of you, dog. A lot of the stuff they're doing, I'm already doing it. Because like I keep telling people, ain't nothing new under the sun. I was already playing rap music. Y'all want. I was already playing white people music in the gospel with nobody else down here. People were calling in like, "Hey, what kind of station is this?" And I say, "It's a gospel station. It's, you know, black owned and operated. But you playing some Sandy Patty? Yeah, some rock station type music." Say yes.
Right.
I ain't never heard that on no gospel station before. Man, you killing it. People only listen to what you feed them. You know, so what you're saying with your record is the same thing. But you know, when you first got introduced to music, do you know how old you were?
Yeah.
How?
I was in the womb.
Thank you.
My mama was listening to music.
Hello.
All the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to see if you were going to say that. See, people don't understand that when you're in your mother's womb, you are listening to music. You know how? You know why you're listening to music?
Yeah, because you feel what she feels.
Right. And why is that?
However could be connected.
Right. But not only because she hearing it, it's because you're in water. Frequency travels over water.
Okay.
That's why FM and AM is different. AM is ohms. It travels across water. So when the transmitter is transmitting the signal, the music, it bounces off the waves of the ocean and go as far as it goes. That's the same thing with the radar in submarines. Huh?
Yeah.
So with all that happening, FM is different. FM is they're not you got ohms, but they're is like I can't think of the name right now, but it modulates like lines. They go one way, one line go one way, the other one goes the opposite way, and it goes they go in different directions. That's why it's FM. So when you go through if you ever been through a mountains or you travel through North Carolina going through the countries and your FM fade out, because before they came with the satellites, you couldn't that's what it does. It fades out because it can't transmit between the trees and stuff in the mountains. So with the satellite, you know who started the satellite? Well, we got internet. It was the Koreans.
Right.
You say, well, no, the United States, no. The United States with the cell phone, cell phones in Korea, because Korea is flatland. By being flatland, they put up a tower and it just bounces it bounces to space and then hit the towers. That's why you see the towers up so high, and they got all kind of satellites in space. So there's a lot of technology that goes into transmitting and receiving, you know. So, but with your music is exactly what, you know, is exactly what you're saying is how you're supposed to design your music. You know, and that's to get the young people to start listening. Right. And WRAP was owned by Orkin, the people that owned the distinguisher thing. WRAP motto was this: if you get the young people listening to your station, they grow up with you and they won't leave. That's what made WRAP. That's what made 103 Jams, because all those people used to work at WRAP. So when you're trying to reach the young people, see, I play music that is for all generations. You know, so that's why when I pick certain songs, I'm looking from the aspect of a young person. You know, you got teens, they call them teens and tweens, and then you got teenagers. The teens is the people that's from 10 to 12. Your teens are from 12 to 17. 18 to on up is adults.
Right.
That's how everything is marketed. So when people don't know all that, they're thinking that, oh, you think you know everything. Well, I know what I study. I know how to get people liking a song. I done broke more songs in the club than anybody in the area. I was breaking them before the radio station was breaking them. That's why the radio station was in the club, because we were breaking the records and interacting with people. And that way, when they put them on the radio, they're the one they get the credit for it.
Yeah.
I buy records. I got so many, like I keep telling people, I got records and I lost about 1,000 or 1,500 records because I put it in storage. And because I wasn't working, they sold my storage unit.
Oh, wow.
And I think right now I maybe got like maybe anywhere between 500 and 800 in mint condition. And these are the records that I played every night. They still in mint condition. No fingernails, no fingerprints. And the important thing is how you take care of things, you know. And that's what I'm saying is when I play people music, it's not that I'm just playing music. I'm playing a ministry. It's a frequency I'm playing. If you tap into that frequency, then that's how I push your music. And like I said, in another month or so, it's all over the ball game. I'll be on the streaks. Once I hit the streaks, you can't touch me. You know.
I can't wait for you to hit the streets.
Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to hit, because it's the young people you got to reach. You got to talk to them. They got to see your face. When you talk to them and do things, and then I'll be same thing with my promotion, with my books and stuff, and other things that I'm doing. Oh yeah. I keep trying to tell people, you think you know the game. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to beat me. I don't care how much money you got, how much money you spend in advertising.
Right.
You can't beat me. Because when God gives you gifts, that's what he give you the gifts for. It's not about me. It's about the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the young people. And if people ain't figured that out, I mean, some of them might be sincere, but you can't keep going with this your slogan. We trying to take back the community. You ain't gonna never take back the community because you don't run the police department. So how are you gonna take back something that the city run? How are you gonna take it back? Explain that to me. How you take it back to the city? Take about anything when it comes to the community. When the police put you in jail if you come down to the city council talking the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you ain't taking over nothing, and you an illusion if you think you are. Now, I don't have no problem telling them that or saying that, for the simple reason the Bible said, "Touch not my anointings and do my prophets no harm." I let them figure out which one I am, and that they don't want to do. You know, but I keep telling them, I ain't got to do. I don't fight. I'm not going to yell or scream. I'm not going to raise my voice. All I have to do is talk. If I talk, white people, they ain't talking to me because they said I'm screaming. Why are you yelling at me? You know, but like I keep telling, because God gave me a voice of authority. So when I speak, I can speak softly and you still going to say, why am I screaming?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not an angel. I'm a human being, because that's what we are here on earth.
Right.
You know, so when God give us the knowledge and wisdom to do his command, his will, nothing is never easy. Nothing. But I just keep moving forward because, you know, death is like a blink of an eye. You know, that's what the scripture said. You know, so what we have to do is get our young people to understand is, why are you carrying a gun? Why are you shooting a gun when you're going to jail? If you want to go to jail, just go down and turn yourself in. You'll be better. They won't even take you. You ain't committed no crime. Just go down and say, hey, I'm turning myself in. So what have you done? I ain't done nothing yet. I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn myself in. Maybe it'll stop me from doing what I'm thinking about doing.
Right.
Lock me up for a day or two. Can I go sit in that jail for a day or two? I guarantee you ain't going to pick up a gun or anything else.
wouldn't want to.
Yeah, because that once those bars, because I've been in jail for traffic tickets. I'm just telling you, judge just put me in jail because he asked me in Virginia Beach, said, how many tickets you had since you've been driving? Since I've been driving? I've been driving since I was 18. So how many tickets you had? I am 63 years old. I know I had a lot of tickets. He said, well, since you don't know, and you've been driving on suspended license and run all this, he just kept rolling the paper, pulled it up in the air, and just kept let it fall down to his desk. He said, well, I said, I told you I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're right. I did. He said, since you didn't know, the next time you come, you will. 30 days in jail. I'm gonna suspend 27 of them. Take them away. I had to stay in jail
for 3 days in jail.
Yeah.
And that was enough to know you ain't want to go back to jail.
Oh, that was the second time. I've been in jail a couple. I'm just telling you, that's how they treat me. You know, but I know why they do it. So it doesn't bother me. I just know that, you know, I done been through a lot. People don't know. They'll try to give me 7 years at Picasso's, Virginia Beach. Norfolk tried to put me in jail for running Royal Blue. Everybody, Chesapeake, the guy came over because I was getting liquor out the car and putting it in the club door. He gives me a ticket, talking about I'm in a fire lane, but the beer truck sitting there for about 45 minutes. He ain't give him nothing. I mean, all these things that people don't understand what I go through. You know, I don't need a hassle. It's just too much at this day and stage. If I can find a place, if I sell a number of tickets, then I might take it. I mean, I've been offered places, but they small places. I don't want to get people locked up or, you know, because I know how the game is played. It's a rule book. You pay $600-700 from the ABC board. That gives you all the bylaw, everything you need to know. They got so many rules and regulations. A kid can walk in and sit at a table, and most people don't even know it. He can sit at a table, and you could be fined in a club for this contributing to delinquent of a manner.
Yeah.
Just because he's sitting there, he ain't got to touch it. So people don't even.
I know that if you are doing something for the community or in the community or something,
right?
Even though I have a busy schedule and I got a lot of stuff going on, I do want to participate in some more of those kind of things. So if you could keep me in mind and holler at me.
Oh yeah,
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out. Yeah, like I keep telling people, this ain't no one man's army. I'm just building. I'm building I'm like I study everything about everything. When you go to war, you got to prepare for war. So what I'm preparing is I got my music in place, I got my books in place, and the people that I reach out to when I get ready to do something, you know, if I can, you know, afford you, then I'll, you know, if I can, I'll say, well, work with me on this. I can pay you this. You know, I know you expensive. I know this, but let's work it out. Why? Because I'm trying to put you in front of our audience, and you can make your money just selling your CDs and tapes. I sold people CDs when I'm in a club. I was selling people CDs every night. Every night, people like, yo, dog, who that? I said, I got a copy of it. Can I get it? I said, yeah, you know. I said, it's $5. He said, that's all, man. That's all you. It ain't mine, man. The money goes to the guy that, you know, they leave them with me. I just sell them. Or I'll buy them. If I'm making money, I just pay you for your music and I get away.
Right.
See, it doesn't matter how they get it, as long as they get it. That's what I do. If I'm walking down the street, you know, why should I have you to go in a recording studio, spend your money, and then and put it in my pocket? God, that's not a blessing. The Bible said, be a blessing unto somebody, that God is going to bless you more. That's why people don't understand. When I say I broke records, because I did. I broke a lot of records. I would go to New York and buy music that ain't even down here. But see, the thing is, people can't, it's the way I talk. So when I talk, people don't want me in the club because if I leave the club, there goes the crowd.
Right.
They come because I talk, not because I'm just playing music. You can't beat me playing music when I know every song I'm playing. My mind is a computer. That's why when I do things, I'm programming every song into my mind. Why? So when I play, I ain't playing, I don't make no CDs for you to dance to. Everything is in my head. So when I go to play, I can go all the way back to the 50s and people can't compete with that. How you going to compete with me when I know white folks music? How you going to compete me when I know Jamaican music? How you going to compete? I know rock. How you going to know whatever, P-funk, hip-hop? There's about 100 different gyros. And you think you're going to beat me? All you got to do is listen to my station. What am I playing? I'm playing everybody.
Everything.
Yeah. So when I play everything, when you come to a club, that's what you expect a DJ. So people like, people, I mean, I done help people get jobs, worked in my club. Now they got a management position. Don't you know I can't get, they don't reach out to give me nothing. No work. Help them make money, make millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you think they reach out and say, hey, I got one of my friends. Every time I think about it, he calls me the next day. When I'm gonna get the coloring book? I was just thinking about. Every time I think about him, he calls me. I grew up with him and stuff. When I started working, and he called me yesterday. Said, "Man, I want the books. When you?" I said, "I'm gonna break them." Another guy said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna do this. I already talked to some teachers and in different states and stuff. And we're gonna get together and buy a large order." Okay, I'm not ego tripping about selling the books. I'm ego tripping about whether or not the kid's going to respond to them the way I got it. It's not about the book. It's not about the money. The money is for me to facilitate for those that cannot afford to buy the book, that I can give them to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I done spend a lot, as I explained to people, I done spend thousands of dollars. I ain't spend no little bit of money. I spend thousands. I don't want to go over the numbers, but I tell them this. Why don't you go and try to do what I'm doing, and you'll find out that all this stuff that people be talking, it ain't easy. I bought software, paid people what they said they wanted. I didn't ask them to give me a discount. I paid them. I paid them a lot of money. So I keep telling people when I had money, that's what I did. It ain't my money, it's God's money. What I do is what God say do. When I don't worry about anything. Like I keep telling about, you think I worry about anything? Does it seem like I lost that I'm starving like Marvin? No. I may not have all that I want, but God is opening those doors to get me through those. And that's why I do what I do, because he opened up to open up the doors to do this radio format so that I can help the local artists here.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate being hear my song on the radio. I mean, things have changed quite a bit.
Right.
With streaming and everything, you gotta stream a song 800 times to make $1.
Hello, I know. I know. So, I know how the game is played.
Times have changed quite a bit. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. I know how the game is played. That's why it's in rotation. Once I upload it, it comes up in rotation. I haven't formatted it so it'll come, like this 2 hours is going to be 757 or a mixture of this or a mixture of that. I haven't done that yet. I'm still in the when they release software, I'm still in that format. Okay. But once I get where all I got to do is go up there and program and say, this hour right here is going to be all 757. That's it. Ain't nothing going to play but 757. The next hour, I might go back to the national. This hour, I might just play all male songs. 757.
Play your girlfriend.
Right. Now, I'm gonna play her anyway. I might have to slip her in there. But like I got different shows and different things I'm gonna do because I'll discuss that when I get ready to do it. you know. But I got, you know, I keep telling people why everybody's sleeping and creeping. I'm working. I didn't go to bed. I didn't go to sleep last night till this morning. It's about 6 or 7 o'clock. It was 7 or 8 o'clock. Got an hour's sleep, and I probably won't going back again because when my wife at home, I don't sleep. You know, I'm just taking care of doing things that I need to do when she's here to, you know, spend time with her or, you know, and stuff. She, you know, she went to see her girlfriend. And like I keep telling people, it's really about staying focused.
Yeah.
Because a child is dying every minute somewhere in the United States. And I'm tired of, you know, all I do is watch the news every day. Every time it's on, I'm watching it. Every time.
That in my song too.
Yeah. You know, and these are the things that, you know, keeps, you know, somebody losing a child or a child is losing their life and losing their lives, going in prison for the rest of their lives. Why? Why? Ain't nothing on this earth more precious than a child. Ain't nothing more valuable than a child. Money, material stuff, you can't take it with you. But what you leave behind is to let those young people know that I got to do something. I've studied everything. I've been studying this stuff for years. So when people talk to me, I listen to them, but I'm quiet. I'm not going to say anything. I don't care if you are college, you got doctor. I don't care what you got. Because all that stuff you talking, if you was doing it, we wouldn't be having all this killing in our community.
No doubt.
You know, so you can talk all you want to, but you ain't going in that community.
Right.
I'm in the community. I'm in the community. Only time you see somebody in the community when they running for office. What happened to them after they get in office? How much do you see them then? I ain't trying to hear that talk. I ain't trying to hear it.
That's another show too.
Yeah, yeah. But I really appreciate you. Got any closing comments? You know,
just I just appreciate having the opportunity to present something that's pure and from my heart and soul.
Right.
And it's pretty much like I said, a journey through my mind. And I'm a pretty good dude, I think. So
yeah, you got. I mean,
trip, just taking a trip with me,
right,
should be a good thing. So I'm asking everybody to, go log on to your streaming service or go to the different places, streaming outlets, and download it or listen to it. Tell a friend, pass it on, because it's a good word, it's a good message. There's a lot of good songs in there that have a lot of affirmations and everything.
Right.
And there's a lot of heartfelt things that you don't have to hide to listen to. You can be around and your kids can hear it.
Thank you.
And not only hear it, your kids can understand it as well.
Right.
It took a lot of thought and going through in order to make this project. So I'm just asking that people just give it a chance and give it a listen, and prayerfully it'll touch them and make them feel good as well.
No doubt, no doubt. And I'm telling you, I don't think you have any problem, with it. Like I said, is my promotions is going to be kicking in. Was this in June or July? Because I'll be out and about doing my promotions for my coloring book and some other things. And like I said, there's a lot of things that's going on that I work with organizations. And like I keep trying to tell people, I don't wait for nobody. God said, wait for no man. You only wait on God. I don't have to wait on man. Man is going, the Bible tell you, man will deceive you. That's his job. I can't get mad with people. I don't get mad with people. I just know what God say do. Stand still and I'll handle their battles. Everything else is just what I do. I've been doing this all my life. Ever since I was a child, I've been helping people. It ain't, and people like, why you do that? Why you don't get this? Why you don't get that? That's why God supply my needs. I don't want for nothing. That's what he does.
keep me in mind for your future endeavors, please.
Oh yeah. I got you. Yeah, because I mean, not only, like I keep telling people, what I do is that people have to know who they can trust. And when I bring people in, it's because it's my word is what they standing on, what I stand on. And like, okay, this guy play good music, he does that, So definitely you will. I appreciate you offering, I appreciate you offering. And like I said, I'm planning several things, but it's in God's time. Is like I keep telling, the enemy is real. I don't slow down. You might slow me down, but you ain't gonna never stop me. Never ever stop. But Eddie Berger, I appreciate you coming on, and don't be a stranger.
I won't.
And hopefully get you on a video. I keep your picture up, so when people just chime in or see it, they can see your picture as well.
All right.
And tell them the name of the album again. And
Guided Imagery.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, guided imagery.
Right, because it almost sounds like God.
Right.
But hey, you got to do it. That's how God works. The melodies and lyrics is what represents what your heart is and where your heart is.
Yes.
So that's the important thing. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I thank all the people that was listening and watching. Don't forget, you always can make comments, throw some thumbs up on the pages, and that helps the algorithms with Facebook. That's how that works. That's what all the thumbs ups and things are. That's the algorithms to get people to connect with the sites and stuff. And once again, Eddie Berger, thank you so much for being on my talk show.
Thank you, sir. No. You have a blessed evening and a safe weekend.
I already have. You was on the show.
All right.
All right.
All
right, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Eddie Berger was in the building. And I just want to let y'all know his music is now, this album is now in the Apple Store. Don't forget to go and cop it. Let them know that, hey, Eddie Berger, Hampton, Virginia. Download it today. You can even also download it if you got my app. If you got this app right here, it's in the App Store. If you download this app to your Apple products only, I'm working on the Android app. This is for Apple's. You can download this. All you got to do is type in WVDM, and you can download it to any electronic devices. It's free of charge. So with that said, I'm out of here. I'll be back again on Tuesday, but hey, I'll be back Monday doing my radio show. So don't forget to charge.